Hello and welcome to fixing my reading habits. I don't know what to call it, you'll see on the title, but it's summer, it's the start of July. I believe it's 4th or 5th of July, I think 5th, and I haven't been reading that much, at least as much as I wanted to read in summer, so I've decided that this needs to change and I need to take some measures to fix up my reading schedule and read more and not spend it wasting time watching YouTube, playing video games. Although I will still play video games and watch YouTube. I just want to get back to incorporating reading as a daily thing I do as my hobby. So let me start by saying what books are on my TBR and what I'm currently reading, and maybe talk about a readathon that I failed to finish. So here are the two books that I am reading right now as a physical copy, actually reading them. So we have A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihira. I love this book. I am on 131st page out of 700-ish, I want to say. Let me check. Let's try not to get spoiled. 720 pages. My camera is not out. And I've been really enjoying this book, but it is a slow read. I feel like it's because how emotionally charged the book is and will be going to be, that it takes me a longer time to read and process the words, and it is emotionally very much charged right from the start. And in the last vlog I actually started reading A Little Life, and I started reading it at like 11 a.m. and I realized I couldn't read it so early because my mind wasn't just ready for how emotional it was going to get from the start. For that reason, I didn't read it for a while. I stopped at 8 pages and didn't read, but now I am trying to maintain somewhat of a regular reading span of this book because it is a break. And I really want to read it. My friend has read it and enjoyed it a lot, and I just want to know what happens. With that being said, around the 100th page, while I was still on a reading groove, I was feeling again the emotional problems of reading such a big emotional piece, and how deeply, not it didn't affect me like that, but like I am empathetic, and books and pieces of media is the quickest way to my feelings, and I can very easily like picture emotions and feelings, and it's hard reading sad books. That being said, I decided actually 2 days ago to take a little break from this book, but then I immediately in the next morning I decided to keep reading this. So it's not really a break. I just decided to start a new book on parallel with this book, and that is Haruki Murikami, Dance Dance Dance. Oh my god, when I tell you how much this book means to me, this book means to me so much because I started watching booktuber long time ago, who I actually have on my TV. It's Emma. You all know her, must know her, the best. One of my top favorite booktubers. Did, I want to say, a research paper on Dance 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 and the aspect of hotels, something like that. And that intrigued me so much to not only Murakami, because I have read like 2 works from Murakami, not the most famous ones, just some ones from the library. So this is not my first introduction to Murakami, but this one is definitely a meaningful introduction to something more of Murakami. And it means to me so much, and I am loving it. It feels very fun. And I am right now on the page of 32. I'm enjoying this. Also, check out my bookmark for Dance Dance Dance, because it is the kitty cat from Flow. Let me get another book that I have actually put on pause and been reading since April. There's actually 2 books that I've been doing that with, but one I have physical copy and one I don't. This is the infamous copy of Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. Oh, this book. It is around, I want to say 400. Yeah, 494 pages. Probably most of you know this series, and to be honest, I bought it because of how pretty it was long time ago. Because me and my friend wanted to read this book, but I don't know. To me, I never was like 100% set on reading it. I bought it for the pretty book, as one with a book buying hobby tends to do, and I just set it on my bookshelf, thinking, okay, I will get to it at some point. And let me tell you, I nearly just sold the book or exchanged it or whatever, just almost gave it away because I just didn't find the time to read it, and I was like, I need new space for my bookshelf, for my books in my bookshelf, for books that I am looking more forward to reading and that I will know I will be getting to, and I almost gave it away. But the Aurelium readathon, I decided this is my chance to finally read it and maybe then give it to a better home or stay and continue reading the series. Though I will say you from the start, continuing this series wasn't my plan. And while I am 120 pages in of this book and have put it on a major 3-4 month pause, I can say I'm not gonna be continuing the series. And again, another one of my friends is gonna be hurt, the same person who recommended me Little Life. It's gonna be hurt that I'm not probably gonna continue Six of Crows series. I just am not finding like so much satisfaction from the book. Like, I obviously enjoy the characters. I do like how the plot is going, and I don't think so I have a like fault to put to this book, but it's just not really gripping me how like the Witcher series, for example. And maybe I can pick up this book up again when I'm trying to do this experiment of getting back with the habit of reading. Another book that I have done the exact same treatment to as of Six of Crows is The Membranes. It's a short book, and I'm deeply saddened that I haven't finished it yet, but I blame it for being an ebook. I don't tend to read ebooks very well. I just really don't like the format. Like, I can get behind a physical book, I can even get behind an audiobook. I love audiobooks. But ebooks, I just can't. I always slow down in the reading. I don't like the format of reading. Even in dark mode, I just don't like it. Which is funny because I like reading fanfiction and it's fine with me. But like when it's a book, like a thing I know I could get a physical copy, I'd rather get a physical copy rather than reading from my phone. So those are the books that are in my currently reading / pause TBR or whatever. And let's do some recap of the Aurelium readathon. This is my journal for Aurelium that was forgotten at the month of April. The readathon took place in. Excuse me for that very weird angle, and this, I'm trying to hold up my phone so I don't have to use my hand. But this is my Aurelium journal. I don't believe I did a flip through ever. I feel like I filmed a flip through. I don't remember anymore. This is my little drawing of William. I just tried copying at least. Oh god, this is not gonna work. Okay, a William base drawing. I don't know, but yeah, this is my little character thingy. I am playing an Elturian. Oh my god, I can't. See, I messed up, but it's fine. I'm not filming for this. Elturian from originally from Eritrea, but I chose the background of Dark Meadows? No, wait. She's from Eritrea, and she was originally born in Dark Meadows. But yeah. This is, I played a little story. I made a little story for the Novice Pat, although I haven't read all of the books that I set out to do, but I finished the requirement of reading 2 books, so I'm fine with that. But as I quickly switch through, my main problem of why I didn't finish reading everything, and I also didn't finish book because of this thing. I chose two callings because I originally, when I created this and decided to join really am reading challenge readathon, it was like, I want to say summer, and the new 2025 reading readathon April spring equinox wasn't announced, and I didn't think that there would be any more callings, so I decided to do the one that I feel like fits best my own in real life personality, and I chose scribe, and these are the things that you have to do, and it's a fairly busy and challenging, at least for me. I feel like it would be a fairly busy and challenging calling, especially in autumn, and I was like, okay, that will be fine. I will do it like a challenge way, because the goal of this readathon is to make people read, and I was thinking exactly kind of on the thought of this theme of this video of having a good reading habit. I thought, okay, this is good. It's balanced in spring, and autumn is more challenging, but I still feel like I would get it. But right as the spring equinox started, there were new callings. And the new callings included Lexomancer, which is actually the calling that, like, if this was when I was creating this journal and picking out my character, I would definitely gone with just Lexomancer, and I would have loved it. And it's basically the part of scribe that I wanted to have, but I didn't know I could have. And then I was like, oh, the decision to either, because I have already made like this journal before the callings, I had to make the decision of either switching completely and just going with the Lexomancer calling, and either like fully ripping apart this beautiful spread that I actually very much adore. Like, I love this spread. I think I did quite a great job at like making it a little scrapbook style, because I am trying to make this like the character book or whatever reading journal. I am trying to make it from the character's point of view mostly, except for these info details, and that's why I kept the like scrapbooky writing style. And then I decided to, rather than fully scrapping the idea of being a scribe, to double major with both scribe and lexomancy. And while that is not in the original rules of the intended way how G intended to play this readathon, it is allowed, and I decided to do it. And so if I scroll here, this is all the classes that I needed to take. I put in so basically I needed to read for the rules, if there's like rules for rule people and for those who disobey rules, and I decided to double major. And the original intended rule for those is that you have to read a book for each of the prompt, and if your like classes overlap, you still have to read 2 books even though. And that was my original plan. I knew it's gonna be hard, but I did print out these little book covers for all the books that I'm gonna read, and there's some things that I'm not gonna count today because those were some other quests about this readathon. But I have to read, technically I had to read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 books in the month of April while also attending school. And if you know from my last video and just can see when I upload, you could see that I took basically a 4-month break from YouTube because I couldn't film and do the academic stuff at the same time. It was just too much. And little do you know, I did not read that much. So I failed this whole time. I tried reading as much as I could. I'm going to try and show you. This is the spread of my books that I'm trying. Most of these are read, but I am still reading these 2. But I read Oh god, that's bad. I read only like 3 books in such timing that I had and could. I read Albert Camus' The Plague. I read this little comics. What was it? Life of Melody. It was very cute. And then I read Stone Blind, a retelling of Medusa. And while I didn't really enjoy this book, I did enjoy this comics and I gave it 4 stars, as the same as this classic. I started reading Membranes pretty early on, but I haven't finished it yet. And it's sad. Again, I don't like ebooks. Six of Crows I explained, and this is Baptism in Fire that I was intending to read Yellowface, but at that time I didn't have Yellowface as a physical copy, and I decided, because I had Baptism in Fire, I decided that I'm gonna switch it because it just worked for the prompt. And then here you can see that I try to explain a narrative why I would fail and how I'm gonna keep up. And that brings me to what I want to do with this. So I obviously intend to continue this challenge. I have decided to change up my own rules, even though I would like to follow the rules. I am gonna say that if that for the next time, for April not April, oh my god, autumn equinox, if I have prompts that overlap, qualifications that for the same classes that overlap with both of the colleagues, I'm gonna allow myself to read only one book for that prompt, because I couldn't get through 10 books, and I know I will still have to do that, probably because autumn equinox is much harder. I will try my best to continue this challenge and graduate at least for this year. And that brings me to how I want to finish this year, because I have taken some liberties and used up some scrolls available to narratively continue this, even though it's not April. And what I want to do this summer, while also finishing up, of course, actually doing the thing and reading books, I want to make a little jar of all the books that I have for William TBR, and sprinkle in some books that I just want to read this summer or have to read for school, for example, because I have some home reading for school that I have to do this summer. So I might sprinkle those in, sprinkle some more William, and make like a jar. And every time I feel like I want to read, or want to know at least a little prospect of what I could read after finishing a book, I'm gonna have a jar, and I will be able to pick out a little paper and see what book I need to read. I do have to make sure that I prioritize the Aurelium books, because I really, really want to finish it before we start Autumn Equinox. And I'm not sure this year if we're doing it in August or September, because it used to go in August, even though it was called Autumn Equinox. They did it in August, but last year it was in September, and I really hope it's not in September, because that's sort of academic year. We'll hope so, that it's not there, but I feel like it will be. But whatever, we're gonna cross that bridge when we get there. So let's make a little TBR jar. So the TBR jar is gonna be small because it's short term, and it's only these. Green indicate the Aurelium and blue indicate my school reading list. I hope I can get through this through the rest of summer, and probably if I figure out if it's August or September, depending on that. If it's August, I do need to get through greens through July, which kind of scares me because these are a lot of books. But we will figure it out. You can see Six of Crows here. Just turn it over. Don't see them. I'm gonna find a container or a place for these to be, because I don't know if it's gonna be a jar necessarily. I just need a place for these. I decided to go through Adventure in Aldea, a little year-long readathon thing feature about Aurelium, to fill out my little spread. And I checked and I realized autumn equinox is in its right place, September, which only further solidifies that I am gonna do my own home rule of, if I have same class and overlapping prompts, I'm gonna use one book for both of the classes, callings, whatever, because I'm not gonna be able to read that many books in September. But it's fine. We're gonna go through it. I am actually 2 books behind on The Adventure of Alia. Funny thing, those 2 books are the ones that I'm currently reading, so I hope to get through them. Hello, it's been a while since the last clip, but I finished reading this in Sans. It was amazing. I want to end this video because, first of all, my camera is running out of battery, and also I feel like it's getting too long, and I've done what I wanted to do, which is fix my reading habits, and I think I've successfully applied some systems, and I am on the track of catching up to Aurelium. It's almost end of July, and I have whole August to catch up on my Aurelium and my required reading for school, which I feel like is enough time, hopefully, to do it. And I believe Dance and Dance was one of my Gear and Eldia prompts, so that's even better. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Bye.